Hi scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with a Click Kits February 2016 layout. For this layout, I'm participating in the monthly pep rally, which is where we do a blog hop and share off or show off layouts that we've made with the kit. So you can go on over to my blog, which is craftymeggie.com, and you can find all the links for the rest of the ladies participating in this hop today. So here I am just picking out my background paper. I don't want to use a paper from the kit, so I was thinking I would use a white paper, but the white was just too white against all of the cream that is in the kit. So I pull out a cream paper from Stampin' Up, and I have no idea. I think it's called Very Vanilla maybe, but I actually got that from a secondhand store, thrift store. Okay, so here I'm just cutting down these two smaller photos because I don't need them to be full size, but I did want them to be the same size so that I could mount them on the same background paper. So here I'm just cutting them down to be the same size. And then I'm going to, oh, I was just showing you the word shine because this is the shine collection that is in the February kit. So here I'm going to use my Tombow dot stamp runner, and I'm going to glue down these photos. I'm going to do just those two together, and then I'm going to mount the smaller ones on their own paper together. So here's where I'm going to do that. And then I'm just going to cut it down, and I'm going to place it down there in the bottom right hand corner of those two bigger photos, and that's where I'm thinking I'm going to place them. This layout kind of changes completely from the very first idea that I had. This is the first layout I've made in, I don't even know. Well, I guess I just made a layout the other day. I wasn't too happy with it. I don't know. I'm going kind of through this scrappy mojo phase where my mojo is gone. And so I'm just trying to make myself scrap and to get things done, but it's just not, I'm not happy with anything I'm making. So it's kind of frustrating. Okay, so here I am using this Heidi Shine from the kit. It came with the kit, and it was the Heidi Swap Color Shine in Peacock. I don't really like how the ink came out, the spray mist came out when I did that, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Here I'm thinking maybe I should add some modeling paste or some other kind of texture to the layout, but I end up deciding not to do that. I pulled out this other piece of paper from the kit, and I'm thinking maybe I'm going to put it down there on the bottom. I also cut off a piece of this polka dotted paper, and I'm thinking maybe I will put it across the top of that dark blue paper, or then I'm like, well, what about up here at the top? But I'm just really not liking any of this at all. I just don't like it. So I decide, okay, maybe I'm just going to put this dark blue paper behind the photo as a layer. And then I decided, well, maybe I can put this polka dotted paper behind the main photo mat. So that's what I'm going to decide to do. I use my Close to My Heart Sapphire ink to ink the edges on the papers just to kind of make them stand out a little bit more against this dark blue color. Okay, so let's see, what am I going to do next? I don't quite remember. I made this layout late last night. And of course, it was the day before the post was supposed to go live because, I mean, what would life not be like without procrastination, right? I don't know if that even made sense. What would life be like without procrastination? It's like the best part of life, isn't it? I'm totally just kidding. But I am a huge procrastinator. Okay, so here I'm thinking that this is where I want to layer all of these papers and I have everything in the right spots. So I am going to start gluing the photo mats and the layers together. And here is where I'm going to cut down a little strip off of that dark blue paper, and then I'm going to glue it all to the background. And there I was trying to figure out how to do the little stamp part of that glue, because it has like this cool, you can make it into a stamp. Like you can stamp the glue down instead of doing the runner. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm going to do a video on that product, so don't you fear. And I have figured out how to use it. So I was just being really dumb because it was late at night. Okay, so here I pulled out the sticker sheet from the Shine collection. I really liked this craft floral, so I am going to add that up there at the top. I am also going to pull off a couple other pieces from that sheet, but I think I'm going to wait a little bit. This is where I'm still thinking I'm going to keep that those two photos down on the bottom, the smaller ones, on this layout, but I actually end up not keeping them on the layout. Oh, okay, there. So that's when I decide, okay, I'm done with these smaller photos. Okay, so now I'm just cleaning up that ink, getting it off of my desk. And here is where I decide, okay, I need to embellish this corner, this bottom right-hand corner. And instead of putting everything down immediately, I am using my baking powder tool that you can buy from, I think it's just EK Tools or EK Success, something like that. And I believe I got mine on Amazon. I think my husband actually gave it to me in my stocking one year for Christmas. So I'm just pulling off a couple little stickers from the sheet and using the baking powder tool to take off the stickiness. Now I'm going to start doing my title. So here I pull out some wax paper and I'm going to spell out the words Cupcake Creations. So the story behind these photos, this is my youngest son, Tinian, and for Christmas, he got this cool little cupcake Play-Doh set, and he loves this thing. He doesn't actually play with it a whole lot, but when he does play with it, he loves it and he will sit there and play with it for hours. So this particular day, I don't even remember what day it was. It might have been a Sunday because Sundays and Saturdays he often spends most of the day in his pajamas, and he's wearing pajamas in this photo. So I imagine it was probably a Saturday or Sunday. But so he wanted to pull this out and play. And so we sat at the kitchen table for a while and played together. And I just thought these photos were so cute of him. Okay, so this is the setting, like the setup that I am going to decide on for my title. So it's going to just say Cupcake up in the top left-hand corner and then Creations in the bottom right-hand corner. And I'm thinking that I really need a little shelf or something for the word creations to sit on. So I'm kind of going back and forth whether to put it on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, and it's just kind of driving me crazy. Again, it's late at night, so I'm thinking, oh, what am I going to do with this? And you can see me tapping my fingers. And so here I'm going to start trying to pull out different pattern papers and trying to figure out which one I would want to use there as kind of a resting place for the rest of that title. So I'm thinking maybe this blue paper, but I'm not really sure that I really like that because I already have the blue over there on the left side, and I keep taking a break here to take photos because I'm messaging with my friend Hannah Lemieux, who is also here on Facebook, because she was sitting in the airport bored. And so I was like, hey, do you want to help me do this layout? So she totally and completely helped me finish this layout because my brain was totally shot. And so she kind of helped bring me I don't know. I don't know what to call it, but she helped me kind of figure out what I wanted to do. So I'm kind of taking breaks and taking photos and then messaging her and then photoing again and then messaging her again. So yeah, that's what all of this craziness is. But finally, I decide to use this paper from the collection, from the kit, and I'm thinking I'm just going to put it right there underneath the title. And that's what I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going to do this. I kind of like it, but at the same time, I don't. So I'm trying to think about what exactly I want to do with this. I just don't like how it has to end at such like where it was ending. So here I'm thinking, okay, maybe it'll look good going across the whole layout. And I decide, yes, this is what I like. I like this, so I'm going to end up doing this. Okay, so I am now just going to ink up that little admit one ticket stub. Here I decide to ruin my title. So I thought it would look really cool if I would color in some of these letters with this sapphire. And so I start out just by using the stamp ink, but that is just a little too much. So I thought, okay, maybe I will add some pink to it and it'll look a little bit better. So I pull out this Close to My Heart ink and it is called Smoothie. And it looked a little bit better because I had washed my brush off, and so there was a little bit of water on the brush still. So that looked a little bit better, but it still didn't look that good. So I am going to just completely ruin this whole title, and I'm going to be so frustrated with myself. So here I'm trying to blend in with a little bit of water, and it's not really working with the blue that I had already put on there, but I'm going to keep going because I'm very determined to make this work. So I'm just going to leave this in so you guys can see this process of me ruining my title. Just completely getting frustrated. So I'm going to end up doing pink and blue on all of the letters, and I don't really like it at all. And it's going to look like crap, if we're being honest. Okay, so this is where I'm going to pull out some more wax paper and I'm going to spell out the words Cupcake Creations again. So the problem was that there were only 3 C's on this alpha. And so I'm going to use the letter G in place of the letter C, and I will just have to cut down the little piece of the G that makes it a G. So I'm going to cut that down to be a C, and I'm going to cut all of that out just so you don't, because that seriously took forever to do. But this is going to make me so much happier. Okay, so now I am just using my X-Acto knife to cut out the last G and make it into a C. And that just looks so much better. So I am really, really happy that that worked out because I like it so much better. And it doesn't look so ridiculous and just so crazy. So now I am going to put down this alpha. I did find this little leaf that was from the ephemera pack. I also found a couple other pieces that I liked from the ephemera pack that I'm going to put up there with that floral. And I'm going to kind of mess around a lot with this cluster up in the top or the middle of the page up there in the top. I pulled out this flare that said rad. I didn't really like that one so much. So I'm actually going to use a different one. I pull it off and they had this one that was white and then it had a multicolored plus signs on it. So I'm going to use that. And now here I'm trying to figure out what else to do up there in that top left-hand cluster because I know it needs something else. And I'm thinking it needs the color black because down in that bottom cluster underneath the title, it has that black heart. So I was thinking I need something black, but I couldn't decide what I wanted. So here I'm going to use my Tombow Aqua Glue that I have in this fine line bottle, and I'm going to glue down that leaf, and then I'm going to put the title down. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit because it takes a little while to do this. Okay, so here I'm done with the title, and I pulled off this plus sign that was from the sticker sheet, and it was black. I don't really like it, so I'm going to put it back, but there was this circle with a cute little heart on it, so I'm going to add that up there just to add a little bit of the darker color up there. And then I inked the edges of one of those die cut pieces that I had cut apart from the kit. And then I'm going to, let's see, excuse me. I'm going to kind of clean up a little bit, I guess. And now here I'm thinking that I want to move the word cupcake over, but I decide not to. Okay, so this is the end of my layout. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I hope you will check out the other ladies using this kit today. Have a great day. Bye.